Thursday, 30 June 2022. This skidmark is about Boris Johnson. That guy is the Prime Minister of Britain, but I am astounded at his antics. He is supposed to be the leader of Britain, and he is supposed to look out for the British population and to look out for Britain. He was elected on a hell of a strong message to get Brexit done, and he got in. And okay, Brexit went through, but with the Ukraine fiasco, I was confused when I saw that Britain is in lockstep with the EU. So why was Brexit there? But let's leave that. The fact is that Britain is in deep economical trouble, and they are in deep financial trouble. And the past weekend, Boris went to the G7 meeting. What a fiasco. That opening scenes there is something that you do not expect from the leaders of that 7 countries. It is, for me, I was stunned when I saw that. And Boris was singing the tunes, and his remarks about Putin, and then the references to taking their shirts off and all of that, and references to pecs, it reminded me of drunk students around a table. It was absolutely disgusting. And what is more astonishing is that there was not a single adult at that table. I cannot imagine, and this might be now a little bit out of context for the rest of the world, but if I think back at our Prime Minister P.W. Botha sitting at that table and Boris pulled that stunt, I can imagine how P.W. would have sorted him out just there. And I have to try and imagine with Putin sitting at that table and Boris pulling that stunt. Putin won't take that nonsense from him, because Putin is a responsible leader and he knows that his country depends on him. But if you look at the nonsense that Boris was orchestrating there at that table, it is crazy. And then the lame duck following by Trudeau and Wonder Crazy, Draghi, Schultz, they all thought it was funny, but it was actually disgusting. And Biden sat there not saying a word, and somebody mentioned that it could be that he didn't have the keyword card with him. He didn't know what to say. But let's look at a few tweets following that fiasco. This one: if Putin was a woman, which he obviously isn't, but if he were, I really don't think he would have embarked on a crazy macho war of invasion and violence in the way that he has. This is what Johnson says. And then the poster made a comment: does Boris have a secret crush on Putin? And then there was another tweet: you can tell that Bojo is just jealous of Vlad's power, wealth, etc. He is desperately trying to personally offend Putin. Even British sanction list of Vlad's family was a personal thing. And that is the leader of Britain. And then there's this one: I feel these guys in the West have some kind of hidden admiration, because how else can you explain this level of obsession? And that is a big reality. It is crazy how Putin is camping in those people's brains free of charge. Then this comment: so it's either he feels so insecure about being compared to Putin, or secretly he has an unrequited crush on him. Either way, it projects Putin as an alpha male. Who would have thought someone dying from cancer, or probably already dead, can command such charisma? And then there's this one: and who is not in love with Putin? He is their idol. And then there is this tweet. And if Mrs. T was still in charge, this is referencing to Margaret Thatcher, she wouldn't be giving billions, yes, billions away to a war that can only have two outcomes. One, successful peace talks. Two, a nuclear war. Faffing around gaslighting Russia and hurling insults at Putin just won't do. And then there's this one. Boris Johnson urged Western colleagues not to boycott the G20 summit in Indonesia if Putin turns up. He also said he would be genuinely amazed if Putin attends in person. I am telling, Boris is totally obsessed with Putin. And then there's, there's some memes that is absolutely hilarious. There is this one where Putin is riding a bear and Boris is running in the river. And it says, show me your pecs, Bojo. And then there is this one. The British Prime Minister Johnson said that the EU political community should become a modern likeness of the Roman Empire and include not only Europe but also the countries of North Africa. Who is going to break the news to Boris that the emperor has no clothes? This is absolutely shocking. And then there was the meeting where Boris was in the presence of Erdogan. And this is quite informative. Erdogan and Biden laughed at Johnson at the NATO summit. And then Erdogan said the following. This one is a disgrace to us, the Turkish president said, pointing his finger at the British Prime Minister. Yes, this is a joke. A joke? Calm down, Boris. Biden tried to defuse the situation. These strong leaders don't have respect for this guy. And then if you go and you look through the memes that are running around, and I'm going to list a few. This one is a caricature drawings of that whole G7 group. And then we have this one here where Boris is obviously whipping Zelensky. And then we've got this one here which tells its own story. Macron and Zelensky in a tight embrace. And then there's this one. I don't know what to say about it. They're sitting here in the military uniforms and so forth. But the internet is ruthless. And I like this one, where Putin lifts his cup to them. And then there's another drawing about the bare chest horse riding, which is, these are the leaders of the West. And look what the people are doing to them. And this one is about the emperor's new clothes. It is absolutely a disgrace. And then I've got this one with Boris in the corner. It tells its own story, but it is sad. And then finally this one. I do not understand how the people of Britain can take this man's nonsense. He is not for Britain. He is out and out a globalist. His country is in deep shit, and then he jumps over to Ukraine for quick visits to Zelensky every now and then. What is up with that? Ukraine is no threat to Britain. It's far from them, plus they're on an island. But no, he makes as if the Ukraine problem is an internal British problem. In the meantime, his country's economic situation is disastrous. The thing is in the dustbin. His people are suffering from rising inflation, rising cost of living, energy shortages, food shortages. But this oak, he doesn't give a damn about England. He just wants to be on the world stage, and it seems to me like he sees himself as one or other monstrous leader. He's not a leader. He's a joke.